Hey everyone, Sergeant Argyright here, and today we're going to do another reaction video on Napoleon defeats Russia. Oh, Friedland, 1807. Very interesting. I know a bit about the Napoleonic Wars. You know, in the last episode, it said that the Russian reinforcements were coming to help Prussia, so I assume this is going to be like the defense of the last of Prussia, you know, against Napoleon. But yeah, it should be really interesting. Wow, 20 minutes. I think this has been our longest episode yet. But without further ado, let's get started.
An Epic History TV History March collaboration.
Who is History March? Or March? I haven't really... Like, what? What do they do? They don't seem to be in the other videos.
Supported by our sponsor, Skillshare, home of more than 22,000 online classes. Find out about our exclusive special offer at the end of the video.
Napoleonic Wars, Part 3. Not really Part 3. More like Part 5 or something.
1 week before Christmas, 1806, French Emperor Napoleon Bonaparte arrived in the Polish city of Warsaw.
Whoa! Prussia controlled Warsaw. That is surprising.
Then part of Prussia.
Maybe they can defend on this river or something. I don't know. Let's see what they can do.
A year had passed since his great victory over the Austrians and Russians at Austerlitz, and 2 months since he'd hammered the Prussians at Jena. But Russia still had powerful forces in the field, the most important of which was the Russian First Army, commanded by General Bennigsen.
Hopefully they learned the lesson from last time
Napoleon
they lost.
would not be master of Europe until it was defeated, and Russia and Prussia forced to make peace. But that winter, Napoleon's first attempt to trap Bennigsen near Pultusk got bogged down in thick Polish mud. The Russians withdrew to Białystok. The French army, half-starved and frozen, was ordered into winter quarters. While in Warsaw, Napoleon...
Open the door for him. Oh, never mind. Well, apparently that cat can open doors now. That's fine.
Napoleon began a famous affair with a young Polish noblewoman, Marie Walewska. In the late 18th century, the once mighty Polish-Lithuanian...
Oh, whoops. Wow, that is very large. Dang. Look how small Austria and Prussia is at the time. Like, I think that's right after the 7 Years' War or something like that. Seriously, wow, they are huge.
The Indian Commonwealth had been swallowed up by its neighbors.
Oh my gosh. The famous partitions.
Russia, Austria, and Prussia, in a series of annexations known as partitions.
No, it's so sad.
Until in 1795,
no!
the third and final partition wiped Poland off the map.
That is so sad.
Now, Polish patriots looked to Napoleon as their savior, praying that his victories against their occupiers would lead to the rebirth of a Polish state. Marie Walewska became Napoleon's mistress in order to further this cause. Ordinary French soldiers, however, had little love for Poland. It was impoverished, freezing, and they missed home.
Oh, yeah, that is very far away.
Desertion rates soared.
No!
There were even 100 cases of suicide.
Oh my god!
Marshal Ney, commanding 6th Corps, sent patrols towards Heilsberg, looking for better quarters. What they found were Russian and Prussian soldiers on the move. They'd stumbled into a surprise winter attack by Bennigsen. Napoleon quickly laid a trap for the Russian army.
Wait, what?
Ordering Ney and Bernadotte to retreat and lure Bennigsen west, while he led the rest of the army north to fall on his flank and rear.
Really? Come on, Napoleon. Don't do that.
But the Russians captured a French courier carrying the Emperor's orders to Marshal Bernadotte.
Oh no.
Bennigsen,
Yes!
now warned of the trap, ordered a retreat, fighting
Oh
a
shoot, there's
series
a lot of them.
rearguard skirmishes against the pursuing French.
There's a lot of them.
But he refused to give up the city of Königsberg without a fight,
Yeah!
and turned to give battle at Eylau.
By the way, Königsberg is a very historic city. It used to be the capital of Prussia, like a big time ago. And also, it became not part of Prussia or Germany in 1945, when Germany lost World War II. And that is when it was sadly given to Russia. And what the heck? Okay. And all of the German people were replaced with Russian people. And all the cities were renamed. It was this famous city of Königsberg was renamed to Kaliningrad. And it's still here today. And so is like 1 million people. What a massacre without any result.
The Battle of Eylau, fought over 2 days, was one of the most brutal of the Napoleonic Wars, fought in freezing conditions, with neither side backing down.
Wow, that is a lot of people and a lot of horses. Wow, look at that. Seriously.
Marshal Augereau's 7th Corps, advancing into the face of a snowstorm, lost its way and was cut to pieces by Russian cannon fire. 5 French Eagles were lost.
That's not good.
Napoleon's army was only saved by a devastating massed cavalry charge by 10,000 horsemen, led by the fearless Marshal Murat. And remember,
10,000? Oh, it's that guy. They showed that guy earlier. What a fantastic beard.
As one of the great cavalry charges in history.
Oh, wow.
At Eylau, for the first time as emperor, Napoleon failed to win a clear victory on the battlefield. He and the Russians covered up the true scale of their losses.
Look at that. Okay, let's add all these numbers up. That is like 22,000. And that is like 21,000. Wow, so the French actually had more, like, slightly more casualties. That is interesting.
But both sides are estimated to have lost a third of their armies in the carnage.
Wow.
After the horrors of Eylau, both armies sought time to rest and recover.
Wait a minute, look at that. That's pronounced Eylau? Oh, never mind. I thought that was like an N or something.
While the newly formed French 10th Corps under Marshal Lefebvre besieged Danzig, held by 13,000 Prussians under General Kaukreuth. The city came under heavy French bombardment and infantry assault. After 8 weeks, with no prospect of reinforcement, the Prussian garrison surrendered on the 27th of May.
Oh, that sucks.
Napoleon's northern sea flank was now secure against any possible Russian landing.
Why did some of them at least try to, retreat in boats?
The French Emperor now commanded an army 190,000 strong, against just 115,000 Russian and Prussian troops. But it was Bennigsen who moved first, launching a surprise attack against Ney's 6th Corps on the 5th of June.
It is so fascinating how much land Prussia was able to give. Like, look at this. Like, they have, no land left. They only have maybe one major city, Königsberg. And if you look what happened to Austria, all the Napoleon had to do was, take Vienna, and then bam, they're just dead. Yeah, with Prussia, they're willing to, give up, 4/5 of the country and still continue to fight. It's so fascinating. Like, I think it has to do with, um, how proud of their history they were, Like, they thought, like, they were known for having this great military, and Napoleon is beating them. So, it's like they're proving themselves or something.
Ney conducted a brilliant fighting withdrawal and escaped. Bennigsen, having lost the element of surprise,
Oh God!
and with Napoleon advancing, retreated once more.
Oh no! There are
4 days later at Heilsberg, the French lost 10,000 men in a botched assault against Russian defenses.
Wow!
But the Russians continued their retreat the next day. Napoleon thought Bennigsen would head north to Königsberg.
Bennigsen is such a good commander. Like, seriously, good job. Round of applause. Like you saw earlier, it's like the Russian generals. It said in the previous episodes that they were actually pretty good and experienced, but it was actually the Russian, leader, the Tsar, who was like really young and overconfident. Like, why did that change though? Why is why is he not? I guess, like, good for him. I guess he learned his lesson.
But instead he retreated northeast, keeping to the east bank of the Eylau River. So when Napoleon's army marched north, it was Marshal Lannes' reserve corps on his right flank that next encountered the Russian army, near the small town of Friedland.
They got them now. Ride your horses into the ground if you have to, but tell the Emperor we're fighting the entire Russian army. Oh yeah, wow.
In the late afternoon of the 13th of June, Russian cavalry scouts informed General Bennigsen that they'd found a single French corps at Friedland.
Okay, they have to win this. They cannot get embarrassed
Bennigsen
again.
decided he had time to cross the Eylau River and smash this isolated corps before the rest of the French army could arrive to save it. And he ordered his army to begin crossing the river. Marshal Lannes, commanding 16,000 men and facing 46,000 Russians, sent an urgent message to Napoleon that he was under attack from the main Russian army.
Jeez, imagine being in that position. Like, you just have, a few thousand troops, and then bam, the entire Russian army is attacking you.
Then he fought a skillful delaying action, hiding the weakness of his force behind a large screen of skirmishers, while gradually yielding ground to the enemy.
Wow. The French are really good.
Lannes was still holding off the Russians as darkness fell.
Oh,
that night, Russian engineers built 3 pontoon bridges at Friedland to speed the movement of troops over the river. But Bennigsen was taking a huge risk. If this turned into a major battle, his army would have to fight with its back to the river, and the steep banks of the Mill Stream dividing its left wing from its right.
They have the bridges. Fighting the backs of the river.
Bennigsen had also badly underestimated the speed at which Napoleon's Grande Armée would react. The first French reinforcements arrived that night.
Oh gosh.
The Emperor himself wasn't far behind.
We won't catch the enemy making a mistake like this twice.
By dawn on the 14th of June, about 40,000 Russians had crossed to the west bank of the Eylau River. Bennigsen ordered an attack on the village of Heinrichsdorf to turn the French left flank.
Yeah, they need to attack while they still have the chance.
But French cavalry reinforcements, led by General Grouchy, intercepted the Russians.
Oh God.
In more than an hour of charge and countercharge, the French horsemen finally drove the Russians back.
Wow, look at that picture. People are able to blow their trumpets and ride their horses at the same time. Oh,
Marshal
gosh.
Mortier's 8th Corps now arrived to reinforce the French center. In Sortlac Wood, General Oudinot's elite
Now my
grenadier
cat
division
wants to come back
fought
in.
stubbornly against Prince Bagration's left wing. But was
Seems like they have enough troops to, like, you know, flank them. I don't... How would they... Okay, fine. Hold on. I'm gonna get my cat. Come on in. Come on.
outnumbered by the Russians and gradually pushed back.
Oh, here he is. Oh my God.
Around noon on a sweltering day, Napoleon himself arrived.
Oh, wow. Oh, shoot, now there's
Soon
more.
followed by 1st Corps, commanded by General Victor, standing in for the wounded Marshal
There's a lot of them.
as well as Ney's 6th Corps and the Imperial Guard under Marshal Bessières.
They are screwed. Oh no. They need to get out of there.
The date, the 14th of June, held special significance for Napoleon. It was the 7th anniversary of his great victory over the Austrians at Marengo. A good omen, he declared. The battle then entered a lull, as Napoleon assessed the situation, saw Bennigsen's dangerous position, and issued orders for an attack to take advantage of it.
Dang, there's like dead bodies or something.
Bennigsen, meanwhile, who was tormented by ill health throughout the day, saw that he now faced the full might of Napoleon's army, and issued orders for a retreat.
Yeah. It's a good idea. Oh, great and bad. This is the objective. Advance. Looking neither right nor left. Or into this thick mass. Cost what it may. Napoleon to Marshal May. Hey, it rhymes.
But before Bennigsen's retreat could get underway, at 5:30 p.m., 3 salvos from the French guns signaled the start of Napoleon's attack.
Now it's their turn. Oh, God.
It was led by Ney's 6th Corps on the right wing, who first cleared Bagration's infantry from Sortlac Wood.
Get your cannons.
But as Ney's troops left the cover of the trees, they came under heavy fire from Russian cannon across the river. As the French attack faltered, Prince Bagration rallied his men and launched a cavalry counterattack.
Yeah.
Ney's corps retreated. But
They actually seem to be fighting pretty well. Like the Russians seem to be fighting pretty well compared to how literally everyone else fought. Seriously. Good for them.
now General Victor's 1st Corps came up on his left. Its artillery commander, General Senarmont, advanced with 30 guns, blasted the Russians at point-blank range with
Dang.
case shot.
That's rude.
Hundreds of Russians were mown down within minutes.
Oh, what's that cannon doing right there? It's not shooting at anything.
Under this onslaught,
that one doing?
Bagration's men began to waver and then retreat.
Oh, God. No.
Around 7 p.m., the Russian Imperial Guard launched a desperate counterattack to try to halt the French advance on Friedland. But they were outnumbered and outgunned.
But they're like cool. They're like
As
the
exploding
Imperial
shells
Guard.
began to start fires in Friedland, the French center and left wing joined the attack.
Oh, goodness. Wait a minute. In here, they're able to cross the river. Nice.
Joined the attack. The entire Russian army began a panicked retreat towards the river.
Oh, God.
But Friedland's houses and bridges were now ablaze. The town became a deadly trap for the Russians.
Well, it'll be a deadly trap for the French, too, right?
Many were drowned trying to cross the river.
Oh, God.
Others killed or captured. North of Friedland, some units were able to escape across a ford or along the river bank. But there was no disguising the Russians' terrible defeat.
Wow.
The Battle of Friedland was one of the most decisive victories of Napoleon's career.
Yeah, the Russian army is not an army anymore. Wow, look at that horse right there. Wow. But yeah, the Prussians are screwed, and yeah.
At the cost of 10,000 casualties, he had inflicted twice as many losses on the Russians. About 20,000 men, killed, wounded, or taken prisoner. 40% of Bennigsen's army. The Prussians abandoned Königsberg the next day, which was occupied by Soult's 4th Corps, while Bennigsen's shattered army retreated across the river Niemen into Russia.
They've got to surrender. They're screwed.
Tsar Alexander's advisors implored him to make peace with Napoleon.
Really? Russia's making peace before Prussia? What the heck is this? Seriously, good job, Prussia. You were doing it. You somehow got the Russians to make peace first. Before you. That is incredible.
He accepted their advice, but a ceasefire was agreed.
Perhaps I was the happiest at Tilsit. I found myself victorious, dictating laws, having emperors and kings pay me court. Oh.
Alexander and Napoleon met for the first time.
Why is that happening?
Aboard a raft in the middle of the river Niemen, near Tilsit, and developed an immediate rapport. Tilsit proved to be one of history's great diplomatic summits, as the two emperors feted each other for days, with banquets, parades, and concerts, then discussed affairs late into the night. A friendship of sorts developed.
What an interesting little cartoon. Yeah, they were kind of friends. Seriously, I don't know. Napoleon was, I think he, gave some concessions to Russia. He was very nice.
While Russia's former ally, King Frederick William of Prussia, was left out in the cold.
Oh, so that's what that is supposed to be.
And it was Prussia who would lose most in the treaties of Tilsit, signed 2 weeks later.
Yeah. They lost half
1/3 of Prussian territory was taken away to create.
That is not 1/3, that's half. Are you kidding me? Hold on. You cannot tell me that is 1/3. That is literally half. Don't tell me 1/3. Look, that's awful. That is not 1/3. Look.
A third of Prussian territory was taken away to create the new Kingdom of Westphalia, to be ruled by Napoleon's 22-year-old brother, Jerome, and the Duchy of Warsaw, to be ruled by the King of Saxony, which Polish patriots hoped would prove a stepping stone on the road to their own state. Polish troops were recruited into the Grande Armée, with Polish lancers even forming part of Napoleon's elite Imperial Guard.
Oh, wow.
Russia only had to give up the Ionian Islands, as Alexander accepted an alliance with Napoleon that left the French Emperor master of Europe.
Not really, they still have Austria. And the Ottomans are pretty strong too.
Alexander even agreed to join the continental system,
Oh yeah.
Napoleon's economic blockade of Great Britain.
Oh yeah, Austria is gonna have to go to war with France pretty soon. Because I know that, they lose a lot more land.
Which banned British ships and goods from all French-controlled ports. The system had been established the previous winter by Napoleon's Berlin Decree. Napoleon hoped that by cutting off British trade with Europe, he'd cause financial chaos and political upheaval in Britain, allowing him to make a favourable peace. There was just one problem. The continental system didn't work.
Really? Shiver me timbers, shiver my timbers.
Not only was it impossible to enforce and undermined by widespread smuggling, the system damaged French trade just as much as British trade.
What? Why? They have all these allies.
Decisive weapon in this economic war would prove to be the British Royal Navy, which that summer ensured its continued naval dominance by launching a preemptive strike against the neutral Danish fleet at Copenhagen, capturing their
no, and this is why Denmark, Norway joins. Okay, why'd you do that? Why did you attack their navy? They did nothing to you. Oh my gosh.
Ships before they could fall into Napoleon's hands.
Oh.
Royal Navy squadrons blockaded all major French ports, seizing any ships trading with France, while ensuring British merchants could continue to trade overseas in relative safety.
Wow. Dang. So that backfired.
The Navy even seized the tiny Danish island of Heligoland as a base for smuggling British goods into Europe.
Dang. And when is Denmark going to join the war?
But most disastrously for Napoleon, the continental system would draw him into two conflicts that proved ruinous for his empire.
I'm pretty sure he's going to talk about Spain and Portugal and Russia.
The first would be fought in the Iberian Peninsula, where Napoleon decided to force Britain's ally, Portugal, to join the continental system.
Oh yeah, what about Gibraltar? Does Britain control this right now, or do they get to control that after the war?
November 1807, French troops, supported by their Spanish ally, invaded the country. The Portuguese royal family fled to their colony of Brazil, as the French occupied Lisbon without a fight.
Wow.
It looked as though Napoleon had won yet another easy victory. But the Peninsular War was just beginning. Thanks to our sponsor.
Wow, and that is the end of the episode. Oops. Well, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Hello everyone, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like it and subscribe to my channel, and turn on the notification bell thingy. And if you didn't, then make sure to leave a thumbs down. But yeah, that would be greatly appreciated. And while you're at it, go ahead and watch my other videos. They're probably just as good, and if not better than this one right now. Except for my oldest videos, don't watch those. And, subscribe to these people down here, my fellow sergeants. They're other YouTubers that I either know or I have in high regards. Yeah, even my cat agrees. So, thank you for watching, and have a great day.